On to this global headline, the Hanoi summit between U.S. President Donald Trump and North Korean leader Kim Jong-un ended abruptly today with no joint agreement. And to tell us more, we are joined by CNN's chief international correspondent, Christian Amanpour, live from Hanoi. Thank you for joining us, Christian. So, was this a surprise? Can you tell us what happened?
Well, Ruth, it's good to be with you because this is an issue of great importance to your region, and we're all trying to figure out what exactly went wrong. We heard from the President of the United States that from their perspective, what happened was that the North Koreans, said the President, wanted sanctions lifted in their entirety and were only prepared, according to the U.S., to offer certain things in return, like, for instance, dismantling their main nuclear plant at Yongbyon. Now, we really do have to hear the North Korean side as well, because other officials are saying maybe the U.S. tried to go for much too big a deal, maybe it was sort of reaching, and then things didn't turn out right. So we want to wait and hear, because we are in the initial hours only since this basically collapsed and since both leaders, ended these talks. President Trump is in the air, headed back to Washington, where he faces his own political drama, as you know, with the testimony of Michael Cohen, his former lawyer to Capitol Hill, still reverberating. Now, the North Korean leader, Kim Jong-un, remains here in Vietnam, starting an official visit of his own for the next couple of days. Let's wait and see what reasons, how the North Vietnamese actually speak about what happened, if indeed they do. We're all going to keep a very close eye on the official North Korean press to hear about what happened from their perspective. Ruth.
Christian, even without a joint agreement, Mr. Trump is saying he still has a very warm relationship with Mr. Kim. So what do you think are the prospects for a third summit?
Well, he wouldn't go there when asked, and most people don't think that's a very, very smart idea at this point, because already the way President Trump and leader Kim have engaged in these negotiations turn regular diplomacy on its head, because normally what you have, as you all know, the expert level trying to get the parameters of the deal hammered out. I mean, basically crossing all the T's, dotting all the I's, and then leaving this completed task for the leaders to maybe push the last issues over the line, or maybe just come and sign it and have a formal signing ceremony and declaring a win-win situation. This is completely reversed, with nothing having been agreed to start with. No working groups really started doing any work back in last year, before the first summit between Presidents Trump and Kim, and the same seems to be happening now. So, yes, President Trump has said that he wants to keep what he called a good relationship with President Kim, or leader Kim, and he wants to continue trying to see whether a deal can be worked out. He also said that the North Koreans have pledged not to start testing any nuclear devices or nuclear explosions, nor testing any ballistic missiles. So that's a good thing, but unfortunately the United States didn't even come away with a freeze on those issues, just a moratorium, while most intelligence says that they continue to build and develop these devices. And the U.S. also didn't come away with even a declaration from the North Koreans on what their inventory is. And that's often the first step in these kinds of very delicate negotiations. So President Trump obviously facing very difficult politics at home, perhaps didn't want to give an inch. Maybe there was a little bit of a deal that could have been achieved, but under this circumstance, some are speculating that maybe he just couldn't get the whole deal and therefore didn't want to get bits of a deal. Again, it's a very tricky time, and we'll wait to see how this plays out and whether the two sides get their experts next to start negotiating and seeing what's possible in this regard, Ruth.
Thank you, Christian. That was CNN's chief international correspondent, Christian Amanpour, reporting live from Hanoi.